Hello, folks. This is Brandon Chapman with you today. It is August 4th, and we're about, 20 minutes before the market closed today. And boy, where are the bears? You know, I bet you could find a bearish case and a bullish case. People are dueling it out there in the market. Clearly, the bulls are winning today, but man, look at what sector is winning. It's utilities up nearly 2% today. Energy taken to the bottom. Technology somewhere towards the top, outperforming the market as well. But here is the rest of the story. Here's the deal. There is a 4-point process for identifying market bottoms. I'm going to go through those today to help you identify whether Friday was the low or we're about to plumb greater depths. So before we get to the bottom, let's talk about the top. The top was put in, again, based on volatility measures that I look at. This was put in on June 23rd. So I'm going to load a pairs ratio study set here on TOS. And we're using a ratio of 3-month to 1-month VIX. Back on July 23rd, we hit a level that we had last seen back on February 14th, back on December 24th, and November 29th, just in the last 6 months here. Now, here's the deal. Every one of those produced a 5 to 10% correction in the market, marked also by the fact the skew was significantly elevated. We were over 130. In fact, back on the 23rd, we were at a 160 handle on skew, which was almost never before seen up until recent years. And this was just crazy territory back here, end of last year into January. Anything north of 130 is high. And we saw that basically volatility expectations were peaked on June 23rd, where the 3-month VIX was 20% higher than the spot VIX. Well, we're going to use this here in a second for identifying lows. So back on the 23rd, that was your warning sign. It gave you the signal, hey, we're looking at a 5 to 10% correction in the next 30 days. Is it 100%? No. But is it pretty close? Yeah, it's pretty close. So the point is, on the 23rd, we hit this signal, and now what are we watching for? Well, once we begin to break like we did Friday, and really even on Thursday, we're entering a more bearish period as we get into the middle of September, historically, out of a more bullish period the 2 weeks after July 4th. And so now we have this kind of volatility expanding. Well, look what happened to the VIX here. The VIX made a nice pop on Friday. And so we have this position right now where now we're searching for when is the market finding a low? Well, we could look back and say, well, what are typical retracements when you have a trend like this, right? Well, a typical retracement would be 5,800 to 5,400, 5,450. That would be 1/3 to 2/3 of the rally from April through July. Well, 10% would be 600. That gets you back to 5,800. My base case really for right now is about 5,800. Maybe we stop shy at a 5% sell-off around 6,100. We'll see what kind of path we take here. But the question is there any indication right now as of Friday, given today's bounce, that the market has reached a near-term bottom, that the 5 to 10% is only fool's gold? We're not going there in the coming weeks as we hit the most bearish period of the year heading into mid-September. All right, so let's take a look here at SPX. We're going to follow a couple of measures. Number one, we want to see that the S&P declines at least one ATR. All right, so let's go to studies here. We're going to load a studies. I'm going to bring up a ATR study, and just 14-day average, we're about 56 points on Friday. Yes, we dropped greater than 56 points on Friday. We're down greater than 1%. So we hit that standard. Number one, we got to drop greater than 1 ATR. But we also want to see that there's some response on the VIX. We're looking for capitulation in terms of selling and buying a hedge. Did the VIX move up to ATR, the 20-day 8-2 ATR Keltner channel? So I'm going to bring it up here. Did we move outside the bands on Friday? Yes, right? The VIX went outside of a 2 ATR 20-day Keltner channel. Now, those are the two easiest points to hit. And look, a lot of times you see the Keltner get broken like that, we're at a bottom, right? Look back here, look there, look there. Many times here we kind of continue to bleed through it. There we had another day up after breaking through the Keltner there. But normally you break above the Keltner like we did on Friday, you're at a near-term low, which clearly I guess we are in retrospect. We're up nicely today. The S&P is up 1.4% or nearly 1.4%. But that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. right? The elephant in the room is a bear in the room. We want to know, are they still there? We're Goldilocks. They're the three, at least one bear. And we're going to see whether or not we're finally at that point of capitulation where we can start to wade back in the waters here. Well, let's take a look at the VIX 3M to VIX ratio. What are we wanting to see here? I'm doing a composite symbol, and then I'm bringing up what's called a pairs ratio study, which takes a ratio of the two. So what we're looking for here was an indication where volatility expectations were peaked. Now we want to see where all of a sudden volatility expectations are declining sharply. Where does that occur? Well, folks, it occurs below 1. So the 3-month VIX as of right now, yes, the VIX spiked. Yes, we broke out of the Keltner channel, but the VIX did not surpass the 3-month VIX on Friday. And it definitely didn't do it today as the VIX declined and the 3-month VIX still stayed relatively steady. We're back now to about 11% higher than the spot VIX. We never reached a point of significant capitulation and selling where we're expecting volatility to fall in the near future. You could look at product depth and look at VX here, and I got a curve from Friday. That's the orange line here. On Friday, this line did not invert. Notice how the line is rising. When it's falling, this is called backwardation. Yes, it means we're kind of volatility's peaked and we're expecting the volatility to happen here and now, but we're also expecting volatility to fall in the near future. That didn't happen. We're still expecting volatility to rise. Okay? So what's happened is we had a significant sell-off. Yes, we saw volatility rise sharply, but we did not see volatility expectations change, and we definitely didn't see skew come down. Kind of a bonus indicator, skew dropping to like 115 down here to 120. Hedges are been put on. In fact, Friday, as the VIX surged, the skew went higher as hedges were being put on. Selling calls, buying puts, which they've been doing since what? Since the April low here. We're just seeing we're getting to levels that are fairly high historically, commensurate with 5 to 10% corrections when volatility's peaked like we saw on June 23rd. Now, the question is, again, are we at a bottom? As we look at these 4 points, it says no. And in fact, what we want to see is something called capitulation. Don Kaufman calls it correlation. What we're talking about is something called what? Everything's selling, right? Everything's selling. We're looking at a ratio of declining versus advancing issues. We're looking over here on the left side. You look at this right here, and you go over, it was only about 2 times more declining issues than advancing issues on Friday. There was no panic. This wasn't like back here where we achieved the 90% day on August 4th. Let's go back to the SPX, August 4th. That's right there. We had a significant indication in terms of breadth of selling on August 4th. We did not get that on Friday. And so the point is that yes, today we're recovering a little bit. Yes, the dollar's probably weakening. We can see that by gold rising. We can look at $ DXY. And we can say, yes, the dollar is, well, I guess we're flattening out today. Friday, there was some weakness here, but today we're kind of leveling off. We look at the euro/US dollar. Again, euro strengthened on Friday a little bit. We're kind of coming off a little bit. We're seeing the dollar is mixed, but we know in real terms that the dollar is falling today. In fact, GDX, gold stocks were up significantly. And my Ghost Prince members, we took a trade today long in GDX. We closed GDX out at a 60% gain. Then we took GDXJ today, and we're looking for a 70% gain on that one. But if we're looking at a degree of correlation or capitulation, we look at utilities, which is now being surpassed by technology. Utilities up 1.8% today. Never felt any of the pain on Friday. If we're going to see a degree of correlation of stocks coming down, shouldn't utility stocks come off today or in the coming days or week or two? And in fact, if we look at today, we look at the option trade in utilities, it gets really interesting. Put options are trading at 44% at the ask, 10% at the bid. We're trading 3 times the average. And there's some decent sized trade in here. I think it's a 19 set. Nope, it's not. Must be the 15 odd. Buying what? Buying the 8650s in here. Okay. They're buying puts today in XLU. Closing out some short puts, by the way, at 82. closing out some short put inventory, buying some puts at 86.50. We're seeing a bearish bias in the options market on utilities. Buying 86, selling 84, that's not much of a pullback here. But if we revert to correlation and capitulation, if we're about to find a bottom in the market, aren't we probably going to see some weakness in utilities? And if we apply Don's expected move today, auto expected move, you'll notice this hit the top end of the expected move for the week. Wouldn't it make sense to see some degree of pullback here? And again, in Ghost Prints, we took a bearish trade in utilities, bullish on GDXJ. Yes, we're going divergent directions. We're playing whack-a-mole. But we're expecting if the market's about to sell off, it's going to drop utilities. If the market grinds it out, it might be the fact the dollar is weak, gold is strong, and gold stocks, in particular junior gold miners, which have underperformed a little bit, might have a chance of snapping back. So what are we talking about in these two trades? Reversion to the mean. Okay, capitulation in the market, dragging down utilities, a weaker dollar, gold picking up, and junior gold miners catching up with gold and gold stocks, testing highs up here about 70. So folks, we're asking the question, are the bears done yet? As we look at those 4 points and our 2 additional points in terms of advanced decline and skew, no, it suggests we still have more room to go before the bottom is about to be achieved. So that means what? We've got to be on edge right now. We got to be able to look for opportunities both bearishly and maybe a little tinge bullishly. You might be looking at taking profits. This one might, as we enter the most bearish time of year, this might be the phase where you've got to look to take profits and look to maybe reposition yourself and go long as we enter fall from lower levels. Well, folks, that's all I got for today. We'll catch you back next week. And we got a week to see what the market holds and how much opportunity is going to be presented itself to the downside in the market for this week. Do we see more tariff news and other things driving the market lower? Do we see just the dollar resurgent strength just on market weakness? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that can happen right now. That's why, again, I took kind of a divergent view, a reversion to the mean, a whack-a-mole strategy for today as we enter the beginning of this week. And we'll catch you back next week. Thank you.